ready.
This video has been years and years in the making. This has been by far my most requested video, and I have not been able to do it for years and years. That is because the entire complete collection of every 41st Elite Kashyyyk clone trooper ever contains two of, probably at this point, the rarest clone trooper action figures. That being the Bogey Squad Commander and the Bogey Squad Trooper from the Republic comic pack. They were extremely hard for me to get. Took me a while. A fan ended up selling me this, and ODST4553, I did a teaser video for this video. He hooked me up with this by jumping through some hoops. We're talking like other country stuff. And he was able to get it for me for a price that wasn't absolutely insane. So, yeah. This is every single 41st Elite Kashyyyk Trooper. Now you may be wondering, oh, where's the 41st Elite from the Clone Wars? They're already in their own separate video, so we're just talking about the Kashyyyk guys here. Oh, what about the 41st Elite Landing Platform Coruscant Guard guys? They already have their own video. Go check that out. I'll probably link them in the description, so you don't have to complain why everything isn't here, because they already had their own videos. But the Kashyyyk guys did not have their own videos. Even though, to be fair, I already did a video on Commander Gree and the ATRT drivers. But those videos contained other things that weren't just specific to 41st Elite, Kashyyyk, Revenge of the Sith sort of stuff. Even though a lot of these, actually just talking about it, the normal Kashyyyk troopers appeared in Revenge of the Sith, even though that's the only one that's really film faithful to their appearance. That's the only film faithful Commander Gree. Those are the only film faithful ATRT drivers. Of course, there's variants of them. But yeah, like him, that's not really accurate. Or him, you know, they didn't even appear in the movies, and those aren't even accurate either, the original Revenge of the Sith Grees. But yeah, very interesting collection. I'm very happy to have finally completed it. This collection actually contains some pre-posed vehicle riders, which is fun, and we'll talk about them. But yeah, let's just get into it by talking about the stuff I've pretty much already kind of talked about. Let's start with the Commander Grees. So, first Commander Gree, up front. Not chronologically the first. This was released after the other two. This is the 30th anniversary or vintage collection, depending on which version you have. Commander Gree, he was straight repacked into vintage collection, so there's no physical difference between the figures there. But yeah, this figure at the time it was released was the most articulated Star Wars figure to date. Largely because he did also have the outward of the hips, and he had the hinges at the wrist. So when he was released, he was the most articulated Star Wars figure, which is amazing. And then, of course, the Clone Wars, I think the ARF Trooper came out, pretty much matched it. And now we have some other Star Wars figures with a little bit more articulation than him. But that's okay. We're all fine here. We're doing okay. How are you? But yeah, he does have a removable helmet to show Tamora Morrison's likeness underneath, not the Clone Wars likeness, because this existed before the Clone Wars. A lot of people don't seem to understand the whole aspect of chronological order with things. I get a lot of people asking like, oh, why isn't this or this or this? Blah, because it didn't exist yet. Simple as that. But yeah, this is actually a really good figure. Honestly, one of the best. He does look very pretty. It's very hard to not make Commander Gree look very pretty. I mean, look at the Black Series one. That looks spectacular. This one's also very nice, especially for 2007, 13 years ago. It's probably older than some of the people watching this video. Please, Kappa, don't destroy me. Anyways, next up, let's kill two birds with one stone. These are the original Revenge of the Sith Commander Grees. Using the antenna mold. These guys have been featured in a couple of videos already. Every Commander Gree and every antenna mold. Yeah, not very accurate to the movie at all. Doesn't have the thigh strap. Doesn't have the actual sculpted suspenders. They're just painted on. I don't really know what's going on with the black on the chest. The helmet doesn't look right at all. Very odd, but still I love it for its own weird reasons. Kind of looks like they would sort of be like Commander Gree. Like maybe troopers with Gree and not Gree himself. Like how Neyo had guys that looked very similar to him. But yeah, there's actually a variant with this. That's why I'm showing two. This is the original lighter green visor variant. This is the more kind of film-accurate darker green visor. So yeah, they changed the color of the visor to be a little more screen-accurate, but they didn't change anything else. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, really great figures for what they are. Of course, the antenna mold, in my opinion, is the best clone mold ever made. So naturally, I like it a lot. So, yeah, there's those grease. Then let's finish up with the antenna mold with the, I guess, Kashyyyk Trooper. He's been featured in a couple videos already as well, the Every Antenna and Every Order 66 pack. He's like just a Kashyyyk Trooper with standard Phase 2. I know this is kind of a thing now with the new Star Wars Battlefront, and Lego also did some minifigs kind of like this. But this has like multi-tones of green, and it has like a lighter green camo, and it still has a green visor, which is really cool. Also black hands, which is very odd. His hands are black. It's like they just forgot to paint it or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's this trooper. I've talked about him before. I really do like him. I think he came packed with a Yoda, if I'm not mistaken. The weird Yoda with the action feature. Not the best Yoda. Probably one of the worst. But hey, this figure's cool, and I actually recommend this. I only have the one. I might actually end up getting a second, so it feels a little more like a trooper, not just like some weird one-off. Okay, so with those out of the way, let's talk about this guy I've also featured in every antenna mold, so we'll talk about him. This is the Bogey Squad Commander, a very rare figure, so rare that you'll pretty much never find him listed individually on eBay, only in the comic pack, and the comic pack will run you probably about $200. So, yeah, just saying, he's kind of rare, isn't he? I love him, though. He is a direct repaint of Commander A Poe, because A Poe had the pauldron, and also he kind of has the longer neck if you take the pauldron off. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this to such a rare figure, but oh, come on. Ooh. Yeah, if you take that off, you're left with the longer neck version of the antenna mold, because there's like a shorter neck and there's a longer neck, and he kind of has the longer neck, as you can see, to kind of accommodate for the pauldron, which is cool. But I feel like it's not as long as A Poe's, because I feel like he's a little too limited. But still, you can kind of get him moving, but you can see you can't really look off to the side in that direction. Kind of more so this direction. But yeah, he's definitely worth the hype because he looks absolutely badass. I love the camo. I mean, just look at that. Look at this camo, man. It's so cool. I've talked about it before, but I love it. I also love the stripe on his head there. Very 212-y. I respect it. But yeah, I mean, it's a camo clone commander at what's not to love. I love this guy. I believe Hasbro just pretty much came up with this design. He didn't appear in the comic that he came with. So I'm pretty sure Hasbro's just like, hey, we want a commander that looks different than the trooper. Let's just do this. And they did it, and he's really cool. And also one of the rarest clone figures of all time. I would say, man, it's either him or the ARC Troopers Battle Pack. I don't know. I feel like those might actually be the rarest of all time officially released. So yeah, there's that. And then let's move on to this guy. This is the ATRT Assault Squad Commander. And he's interesting because he's a green Commander Baqarah. He's green. He's the old Baqarah mold, so he's not very articulated. He does have the, whoa, whoa, whoa! I've dropped my gun. Oh no. Or he can like pick things up. He's not really in focus right now. But yeah, he can pick things up, I guess. If you want him to like pick up, spoiler alert, he'll pick up his fallen brother. Get up, brother. Ooh, yeah. Hey, sir, what's going on? Not much. Okay. But yeah, pretty standard for the old Baqarah. Multi-shades of green, which is interesting. Also still has the green visor, which I respect. Even though he has a green mouth plate too, which is odd. He has that logo on his chest. I have no idea what that's for. But yeah, I like the multi-shades of green on him. He just looks cool. I like him. I just wish he wasn't on a mold that was so kind of iffy. But other than that, he's actually really cool. It's funny how kind of different a lot of these 41st Elite guys look. It's pretty much as long as they're green, they qualify. It's kind of funny how Hasbro's thinking. Hasbro came up with him, and Hasbro also came up with his trooper. And this is the ATRT driver. I'm talking about the ATRT drivers now, guys. We're moving on. Same logo right there. I don't really know what that is. Funny enough, though, mine has like a mold mark left on the side of his helmet from where it was injected, and I have not removed it because I think it's funny looking. But yeah, this is the original Revenge of the Sith mold. It's pretty articulated. It's pretty nice. It's funny, when I first saw it, when I first saw that guy in the back there, I didn't actually think he was a clone trooper because he looked so different. But then again, we're talking about 2005 Adam, and I was like, what, 6 or 7? So yeah, I was kind of like, is that a clone? What? Yes, it's a clone. Yeah, same kind of multi-shades of green, really cool on him. I've already talked about the ATRT drivers in their own video, so I'm going to kind of gloss over them a little bit. The newest ATRT driver, and by far the best, is the Vintage Collection one. He has his own gun, which is really cool, and you can strap on his back. He has a removable helmet with a head sculpt that's actually pretty good. I actually considered putting this on my favorite head sculpt list, but then I kind of thought about it, and I'm like, it doesn't really look like Tamora Morrison. I can't really pinpoint who it looks like, but it doesn't look like him. I'm getting a little bit of... I can't really tell you. I can't really tell you who it looks like. I'm getting some different actors, but I don't know. Yeah, he has that helmet. Or that head, I should say. Pretty decent articulation. He's been upgraded to outward at the hips, so he can actually ride ATRTs very nice. Yeah, really good. Definitely the definitive ATRT driver. If you're in need of an ATRT driver, this is the one to get, in my opinion. If you only want one, or if you're only looking for one that looks really nice riding your very nice ATRT. But of course, there was one that was made specifically to ride ATRTs, and that is this guy. I have him on the ATRTs that came with the Assault Squad Battle Pack. But yeah, he was packed in with his own ATRT. He's got some limited articulation. You can move his arms, you can move his waist, and you can move his head, but other than that, he's pretty much made to just sit there. And for me, this is actually really good, so I can actually have a trooper constantly sitting on an ATRT without having to sacrifice a trooper that's articulated for the rest of my collection. So yeah, I actually really do like this. The paint's pretty good. It's nice. It's good. It's a good ATRT boy, and I respect it. But we do actually have something else to discuss ATRT-wise in just a minute. But this is the Order 66 ATRT driver. Came packed with Luminara. And it has very similar camo to some others, but it's also kind of a more muted green, which I like. I like how this is an ATRT driver who's camo. So if you want more camo guys, this is a camo ATRT driver. This is one I actually didn't get into a little later on. I actually didn't have this growing up. My brother did. And I'm very happy to have it now, because it's really great. I've already talked about the colors. And you know the mold. I've already kind of shown that off. So yeah, that's a good one. And then this... Oh no, don't fall. You probably can't see the ATRT commander wants to fall. Fall forward. Ah, jeez. Thanks for knocking over my probably $100 freaking clone commander. I appreciate it. You're welcome. So anyways, I have something new to kind of show, because I don't think I had this variant when I made the every ATRT driver video. So the actual film accurate version has the white kind of up there on the bridge of the helmet. And I don't know which one came first, but this is like the film accurate ATRT driver. This is what was released single carded in Revenge of the Sith to accurately portray the film. But there is also a variant, as you can see, where there was no white on the bridge of the nose, and it was all that kind of spray tan. You can see the difference. It's all tan on that one, and there's actually like white on this one. It's a very interesting variant. I decided to keep this one carded because I didn't really have a use for another ATRT driver loose. And I kind of, like I said, I looked at it when I was a kid. I'm like, is that a clone? So I kind of wanted to relive that nostalgia with him. But you saw in that package, he also came with a battle damage chest piece. You can actually pop on the figure. And I haven't really talked about this much. This is actually my childhood one. I broke the antenna off, unfortunately. But I do have one with the antenna. So yeah, that's why he's kind of dead. Because his antenna broke and he's been shot up. He actually lays dead in the display. But yeah, that's the ATRT drivers and the grease and all that. Now let's move on to the 41st Elite Troopers. The as Wikipedia calls them, Clone Scout Troopers. And what better way to start off with the literal Clone Scout Trooper figure? And that is this, the Saga Collection 41st Elite Corps Clone Trooper. And yeah, he's literally just a Scout Trooper, an Imperial Scout Trooper, a biker scout, repainted in camouflage, portraying a 41st Elite as seen in Revenge of the Sith. Not very screen accurate, but still he's very cool and I love him. It's kind of funny. My brother, we went to the flea markets together when we were really young, like we're talking like 2006, 2007, and he wanted this guy. He went there looking for him. And he found a normal white Scout Trooper, and he's like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'll buy this since I don't think I'll find the camo. In a later booth, he found the camo one, and he ended up getting both. So that was kind of cool. Nice little memory there. But yeah, he's camo. He's like a Scout Trooper, but he's camo. You could actually use this with your Imperial Army if you want. If you want him like with your Mimban guys or something as like a camo Scout Trooper. Because he's technically not, there's armor differences, and we're going to go over that. But yeah, he is the Vintage Saga Collection Scout Trooper, just repainted as a 41st Elite. He even has the little pistol and everything. He has a Scout pistol and all that. There was kind of a variant with this guy, with like a darker visor, similar to Gree, but it's not really something that's super documented or super important. I used to have that variant, but I actually traded it with my brother to get another 30th anniversary. So yeah, there's this interesting, very interesting figure, and let's compare it to the film-accurate version released pretty much the next year. And that is the oddly short, like you can see, this is them standing at the same height. The 30th anniversary one is oddly shorter. I have no idea why, but he's way more film accurate. You can see the gloves are more accurate, the armor is more accurate, the pouches and everything are more accurate. Armor all around is more faithful, even though you can see how similar it was between the Scout Trooper and the Star Corps. Did I say Star Corps? I meant 41st Elite Corps. You can especially see the differences in the helmets. Visor's way different. He has like these extra breathers down there. You can see the helmet's way different. Not way different, but different enough. Different enough where you notice. So that's kind of nice that it was slightly different. But I love how Revenge of the Sith and George Lucas showed us the precursor to the Scout Trooper. I thought that was really cool. I love how they showed the precursor to the Scout, the TIE pilots, the Snow Troopers. He really paid attention to kind of showing us like how things evolved. But yeah, this is a really great figure. Actually, I think I did a its own video or something. I love the head sculpt too. I love the head sculpt on this guy. Yeah, I showed him in the best head sculpts video. That's where I showed him. That just looks so much like Tamora Morrison. It's really great. I love how that flips up. And then articulation's really good on him. Even though he's oddly short, like I said, he was released alongside Gree, which is odd because he doesn't have outward at the legs like Gree, and he doesn't have hinges at the wrist like Gree. But he's still very cool. He's a very, very cool figure. I love him. So, those are those. Let's talk about the pre-posed one, and then let's talk about the last couple. So this is the pre-posed Biker Scout clone trooper released in the original Revenge of the Sith line. This was the very first figure of this trooper design we got. This isn't the actual bike he came with. The one he came with had a ripcord. I just have so many bikes, I decided to give him one more film accurate. And yeah, this is interesting. He's pre-posed to sit on a bike, which is nice. He only has a black visor instead of a green one, like he should. So that's interesting. Kind of minimal paint, but he still has paint. Like he has it on the gloves, he has it on the belt. He even has the straps and everything on the boots. Like they really did pay attention. Camo's just kind of like paint slopped around, but it's actually kind of cool looking. Very nice kind of static figure to just sit on a bike. You know, he does his job, he looks around. He kind of can adjust his arms if you need him to. That's kind of funny. But yeah, I definitely recommend this one if you're looking for speeder bikes. Just get the original Revenge of the Sith speeder bike set. Get yourself some of these guys and plop them on there. Actually looks really good. So, with that odd guy out of the way, let's talk about Commander Fey. So Commander Fey is really cool. Mine actually was yellowed, and I did treat him, and he didn't go all the way. The color on the plastic, it doesn't match the other painted parts perfectly, but it's not nearly as bad as it was. Commander Fey and the very rare trooper are very easily confused, and I'm going to bring an end to that here in this video today. So one thing that is drastically different is that Fey has his own head sculpt. And a lot of people do like this head. You can see I've had this guy ever since it came out. His eyebrows are wearing off from how I've taken the head off. I love the scratches he has. That's kind of cool. But the sculpt itself just looks kind of odd. I don't know. I'm not digging it. I'm not digging that head. It just looks kind of weird. I'm not too into that. It looks kind of puny too. But yeah, he does have that going on. You just plop the helmet back on and probably keep it on. I don't really like this helmet sculpt too much either. It just looks kind of too outward at the top of there. I feel like the original 30th anniversary was perfectly proportioned. I feel like the visor is way too big on this. It just looks kind of odd. Even though other than that, it pretty much does share the exact same mold as that guy. It's the exact same figure as the original 30th anniversary, except as the new head and helmet. So yeah, there's Commander Fey, and then let's bring him in. This guy is the reason this video took so long. This guy. Get out of there, freaking hair. You're ruining the moment. This is the Bogey Squad 41st Elite Clone Trooper. And he's actually led by Commander Faye, which is cool. So you can have him with Faye. That actually looks really sweet. But before we even talk about him in detail, let's just lay to rest the comparisons between Faye and this guy. A dead giveaway is Faye has dark green in between the visor and the mouthpiece, and he is just completely kind of like the light greenish tan. That's the biggest dead giveaway right there. Because they're kind of hard. He has definitely a richer green. He's a more pale green for the undercolor. You can definitely see the camo is more complex on the Faye, while it's kind of more simple and blobby on the Bogey Squad Trooper. Looking on the backs here, you can see it's pretty similar, man. I can see how people get confused. But, I mean, you can see here the differences. If you ever need to use this video as a reference, if you're like, oh, I think I found the rare trooper, look at these. This will show you probably just have a Commander Faye. Because Faye's still kind of rare. Not nearly as rare as this guy. But the dead giveaway is the nose bridge right there. And make sure the colors match between the helmet and the body. And also the heads. Of course, Commander Faye has his own unique head. But this guy has a Galactic Marine head. So yeah, there's that. Someone actually put a Galactic Marine head on a Commander Faye and is actually peddling it as this trooper. Watch out for that, because that is not correct. But you can definitely see my issue there with how tiny his head is compared to the Galactic Marine one. But yeah, just looking at this, just kind of, I don't want to stretch it out. So I feel like this helmet's actually looks a little better because it's been more stretched out at the base to kind of fit the Galactic Marine head, which looks really weird. It's based off of the guy that just ate at the cafe. Not too big of on Camino, not too big of a fan of that head there. But he does have that head. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the differences in everything there. I mean, you can see this is a very different figure, but still it's easy to confuse, especially if you're not as knowledgeable as I am. I mean, even for a while there, I was actually struggling to tell the differences between the Faye and the Rare Trooper. But I just got to show this. I mean, I already showed it in the teaser video, but here is probably the rarest clone set ever, and I finally have it. What a relief. What an absolute relief. Because, oh my goodness, this was a journey to get those. So, with that being said, there is, without further ado, every 41st Elite Kashyyyk Trooper figure ever made. Whew. Definitely a relief to have made this finally. I pretty much waited like a day after I got him to make the teaser video, but I waited like a week after to film this because I just had a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, definitely a relief to make this. Definitely rewarding and definitely satisfying. Like I said, if you want to see every 41st Elite landing platform, the white and gray troopers, separate video for that. If you want to see the Clone Wars versions like Draw and the Phase 1 Gree and all that, separate video for them as well. Buzz was the other guy, right? Draw and Buzz. Yeah, it was Buzz. Buzz, Lightyear to the rescue. Okay, there we go. There's every 41st Elite. I'm getting very close to having every clone ever. I'm only missing 7 at this point. I'm missing the original Republic Commando pack versions of Fixer, Sev, and Scorch. I am missing the Legacy Collection Dark Pauldron variant of the 327th Star Corps. I am missing the Clone Wars variant Dirty Commander Wolf Phase 2 that was single-carded. Kicking myself for not buying that when I saw it at Kroger years ago. Missing the exclusive 2-pack versions of Jack and Echo. There's slight paint variations with them. And that is literally it. I will have every clone trooper after that. Every variant, every minor little tweak. I will own it. I will have it. It will be mine. So yeah, I don't really even want those too bad. It's just, I'm so close to getting them all. I might as well do it. And I'm hoping, I was thinking by the end of 2020 I would do it. But since 2020 has been an absolutely train wreck, it's been an absolute train wreck of a year. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but we'll see. We'll see. If we end up getting another stimulus check, I might decide to splurge and literally just splurge on some of those few I'm missing because I need to get that done. I need to get it done because I really want to make every clone ever. For that video, just a heads up, I'm not going to put them all on this. Every clone ever is literally going to be a repurposed display of all of my clone troopers, and I will literally just show you the entire display. Because I plan on redoing my clone display here soon. That's what that video is going to be. But it's going to have every clone ever in it, so it'll be great. Alrighty, guys, there we go. There has been my video on every 41st Elite ever. A little bit of a rant and ramble at the end there, but I really want to give you guys an update on the status of every clone ever, as well as this video and its trials and tribulations. Alrighty, guys, there we go. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Check my social media links, PO Box address, and frequently asked questions down in the description below. Have a good day, guys, and may the Force be with you. I just made every 41st Elite Kashyyyk trooper. Finally!